Hey, I'm Samuel Ross, and you're watching The Drop at Barneys with Highsnobiety.
Hi, I'm Jackie Kim of Barneys, New York.
And I'm Jeff Carvalho of Highsnobiety.
And we are here with Sam Ross at The Drop at Barneys on Madison Avenue, New York City. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
Sam, you just got off a plane. You're right into the middle of it. We're at The Drop at Barneys. Your collection is amongst an amazing array of other designers. You know, you've had a pretty incredible road to getting to this point, and I'm curious to know, like, you know, what is it like being in a shop like this?
It means a lot. You know, last year I was grateful enough to have a window here with Barneys too. So to now be able to produce some exclusive garments, it means a lot to me. Barneys is a really important benchmark store culturally. So to be involved, I'm just really grateful to see, you know, and have that support.
Yeah, you know, one thing that's interesting is the lineup this morning of fans and kids coming into the store. There were two kids immediately that essentially just came in and were like, "Where is the goods?" And they went straight to your stuff, which I thought was pretty cool.
Wow.
You have quite the youth following. You know, what is that?
You know, it's a really interesting question because I do believe I have a youth following, and I feel I've been able to kind of garner this voice to speak intellectualism through design, and that's a voice that hasn't really existed in such a clear way before. So I feel like I've found a way to just communicate a lot that isn't always said, and that's where my cult has kind of built from, you know?
You started your roots in kind of paying homage to a lot of other brands, and you moved your way into a traditional line.
Yeah.
How did you even start in all this?
So my journey is quite tiered. I first came into the fashion industry working with Virgil Abloh as his assistant. I'm working underneath a lot of Donda projects as well. That was around 4 years ago. So from there, I kind of you know, worked very hard behind the scene diligently for several brands, including Stussy, Hood Bayer, Pyrex Vision, many brands. And from there, and traveling quite a lot throughout Europe, I kind of noticed this gap was missing within the UK market for a narrative that spoke to high and low fashion communities. And what I did was I kind of went back, and rather than referencing American culture or European culture, I decided to look at my own upbringing, where I grew up, take my own personal influences from, you know, graphic design, product design, Bauhaus, Dadaism, mixing it with contemporary culture, which I knew quite well because I had lived through it. And that's how a Cold War was formed. It was a life experience, you know, paired with the fashion high-low community.
So let's talk a little bit about the collection you're releasing today.
Yes.
Can you go into that? What was your inspiration, and, you know, what are your favorite pieces?
So my favorite pieces in this collection are definitely the black nylon coat, and it has a very reflective, shiny material. It's also incredibly lightweight. What I wanted to do was, you know, I feel like I know my consumer, and I know how myself and Barneys work quite well, so I wanted to make sure there was a strong graphic narrative to all of the goods. So I paired usually quite minimalistic choices of fabrics with slightly larger graphics, which, you know, are quite reflective of what I'm known for, together to make something quite unique, something that felt quite textured and quite loud, but also very much a Cold War down to the T.
We've been talking a lot with guests today about this idea of what street fashion and streetwear gets defined as. You know, we know today that it's having a really interesting moment. That's not to say that it hasn't been here, because if you ask our readers and what we've been doing, it certainly has always been here. But, you know, it's now playing at the same, you know, it's playing on the same lines as a lot of big luxury designers in some sense. And I'd love to just get your take on what's that journey been like?
It's difficult to kind of comment on because I've been in this for now, I'd say fashion as a whole, around 8 years. From my journey, you know, from the age of 18 up to 26, spending that time in it, it's been really, firstly, inspirational to see where streetwear has gone and how it's evolved out of that catchment phrase to now compete with like large houses and also collaborate. I feel like it's the future. It's two ways of working, you know. You have the more stoic house style of communication, which is based more so on seasonal releases, which is a lot more stable. But then when you pair it with a lot of the you know, the volatile and more expressive nature and immediate nature that is found throughout the streetwear community, the two marry up quite well to cater to both sides and produce new content. So I really believe it is the future of how the way things will work within the industry. You know, it's almost like the younger sibling and the big brother coming together to create new ways of working and new content and new art, you know, and I'm really looking forward to see where things go.
So word on the street is that you have been going to Venice quite often.
Yes.
So can you give us a little inside look on what that's about?
Yeah, so I've been spending a lot of time in Italy at the moment, back and forth between there and London, and it's really because we're focusing on producing a large amount of our goods from the next delivery in Italy now. We're at a point where we've been grateful enough to grow to a certain level in a short amount of time, which means we can now really start to, I guess, progress and refine further the garments and the narrative and speak in different ways to our clients and to the wider fashion industry, and that will be, as it should be in this industry, through the garments themselves, you know?
Walking the floor here at the drop at Barney's, I'm curious to know, outside of your own goods, what are some of your favorite drops that you're seeing here?
I really like Jerry's drop. 424 I'm a big fan of. Of course, like Virgil's drop as well. Heron's also. For me, what it is really about is Barney's really curating what is happening globally in one place and then finding ways to work with all of those artists and designers in one central hub. So what excites me more so is the overall vision and curation that Barneys have put together to really make something that feels tangible, you know?
Amazing.
Sam, thanks so much for taking the time to be here today. We're so excited to have you and so excited to see what's going to happen today.
Thank you guys for having
Sam.
me here, it's appreciated.